the story I heard about him was when I was trade envoy to Thailand, Prime Minister's UK trade envoy to Thailand, Brunei, and Burma. And when I was over in Thailand, it was just after the funeral of the king of Thailand died, and he went over as the royal representative. And he didn't stay in the embassy. He decided to take in, I think it was pretty well an entire floor of Mandarin Oriental, cost something like 50 odd grand for to presumably the taxpayer's expense. So it's sort of that sense of
Telling
entitlement.
sign.
Yeah, exactly.
First, the Sunday Times reveals that Prince William will banish his uncle Andrew from public life. That includes his coronation. There are also suggestions in the papers this morning that Prince Andrew tried to enlist his protection officer to look into the affairs of Virginia Giuffre. He was reportedly convinced she had a criminal record, which wasn't true. So can Andrew still prove a headache to the royals? Paul Scully, are we to get more from Prince Andrew?
Yeah, I think he is the unfortunate gift that keeps on giving for the royal family. He's been a thorn in their side for some time now. We remember the Emily Maitlis Newsnight interview when he was just so out of touch. And I think even his statement, as the Times said, described as a sense of entitlement and just not really in touch with the depth of what he's been associated with. But it's good that William is saying, well, the reporter to have said what he said, because I think that just shows actually he's got an eye on not just the embarrassment of Andrew, but an eye on making sure the monarchy is fit for the 21st century and when he takes over as king.
Christine, for you, I wonder whether Prince Andrew can slip away from having any kind of public role at all. Is it as easy as that? To abolish effectively the former Queen's son, to Royal Lodge forever and evermore?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think this crisis has actually bottomed out yet for Prince Andrew, and I doubt that it ever will, because there are serious questions still to be answered. There are still documents coming out about the Epstein affair. I kind of think that this is just going to go on and on and on. And part of the problem has been that interview in which he showed himself to be completely out of touch and lacking in any understanding of what the issue was and what the problem was. And I think that
this is the Newsnight, the Maitlis interview.
Yes, the Emily Maitlis interview.
In which he lied. We know that now, don't we? Because he did have contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he said he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he undermined any credibility he had. He showed himself to be out of touch. And I think, yes, Prince William is doing something which will go down well with the public. I would have thought he lost patience with Prince Andrew a long time ago. And I think Prince William stepping back, or at least pushing his uncle back from the forefront, will help his image. But I don't think it's going to go away for Prince Andrew. I think there will continue to be revelations and it will continue to be a problem. And I don't think being on the Windsor estate will help.
Paul, did you ever have any experience of Prince Andrew when you were in office?
Not directly, but the only experience I had, the story I heard about him was when I was trade envoy to Thailand, Prime Minister's UK trade envoy to Thailand, Brunei, and Burma. And when I was over in Thailand, it was just after the funeral of the king of Thailand died, and he went over as the royal representative. And he didn't stay in the embassy. He decided to take in, I think it was pretty well an entire floor of Mandarin Oriental, cost something like 50 odd grand for to presumably the taxpayer's expense. So it's sort of that sense of entitlement.
Telling sign.
Exactly. Those sort of things come over because there's a perfectly good embassy. It's an amazing embassy.
Yeah.
Very
presumably, Paul, he'd have been able to stay at the embassy for free.
No, absolutely. That's where I used to stay when I was on ministerial trade envoy business, and it's perfectly suitable for royal.
I mean, is this just partly is he just a casualty of his circumstance? You have to ask those questions when people just seem completely not engaged with the fact that you can stay for free at the embassy, if we're going to use the example of Thailand, or you can pay to stay at the Oriental at the Mandarin Oriental at the taxpayer's expense. It just seems, Christine, that there is a correlation there that is not happening or did not happen for Prince Andrew. And is that because he's the product of his upbringing, of his circumstance?
Well, you do have to ask the question. I mean, yes, you can be the victim of your circumstance, but you should be aware of that circumstance and doing something about it. I mean, Paul and I have both been in a position where you are paid by the taxpayer, you're responsible for taxpayers' the good spending, if you like, of the responsibility of making sure that the taxpayers' money is not wasted. And to take a floor in a hotel that's going to cost that amount of money and not seem to realise that might, or perhaps not care, I don't know because I don't know him, but just not seem to be aware of the impact that could have. And now all these stories are coming out. You wonder just exactly what he was aware of, and this sense of entitlement that we're hearing more and more about is disappointing, because you think that for years, has he been squandering taxpayers' money? Do we pay enough attention and scrutinise enough
But
how
also,
taxpayers' money is
Christine,
spent?
he should have been told no. And if he wasn't told no then,
yes.
Do we know that members of the royal family, should they suffer some delusionment about what they should and shouldn't be paying for, are they still not being told now?
It's difficult. It's difficult to say that to the royal family, isn't it? So from an official, from a sort of like, presumably a relatively junior official or diplomatic person, to tell the royal family, even if he's not the king or the prince, Prince of Wales at the time, it's still difficult to actually say no. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Wow. The piece by Roy Anika also mentions that he spends much of his time these days playing video games at the Royal Lodge, which has tickled me. I have found a royal-related video game for us this morning, guys. It's called Royale High. Players can be, it's on Roblox, very, very popular with the kids. Players can be princesses, dress up and attend a magical school. There you go.
Sounds
Royale
good.
High. Perhaps that's what Prince Andrew's up to. But more seriously, Christine, what should he do? Could he just go for broke? Netflix documentary, tell-all book. Do you think that could happen?
Oh, I think that would damage both him and potentially, the royal family as well.
But it wasn't a concern for Harry, was it?
Well, no, and it hasn't done him much good. I would say that Prince Harry's reputation has suffered from doing that, and his popularity in this country. I don't think that should be the route for Prince Andrew at all. I'm surprised that nobody has recommended to him the sort of route that the Queen's uncle took when he abdicated. That he could have been a thorn in the royal family side for decades, and he wasn't. He stayed out of the limelight. Now there are questions about during the war and all that. I know about that, but when I was a child and I was growing up, I had no idea who the Duke of Windsor was, and there didn't seem to be much public attention on him. Whereas Andrew just seems to blunder from one gaffe to another and be this continuous problem now for the royal family. And there's a very good piece in the Times today which goes back over his life, if you like, his career, for want of a better word, in the royal family. And the gaffes go right back to his 20s. So, the thought that he might actually get it right now and do the right thing just seems unlikely.
Thanks very much indeed to Paul and to Christine.